gonna sit here whittling?
Well, we whittle up our idea for something better to do, I reckon.
City living, nothing to do, and all day to do it.
Come night, you only half done.
It'll be the ruination of all of us.
Well, yonder comes Miss Jane.
Mr. Drysdale ain't with her.
Mr. Drysdale's in New York.
Well, I wish we was in New York, away from this city living.
I hear tell New York is bigger than Beverly Hills.
Go on.
Well, it seems possible, but that's what Mr. Drysdale said.
Oh, he was only greening you.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
Greetings. Granny, Mr. Clampett, I have the most thrilling, exciting news. Mr. Drysdale telephoned from New York this morning.
Well, that beats anything that happened around here this morning.
Say, Miss Jane, is it true New York is bigger than Beverly Hills?
Yes, indeed, 8 million people, but listen to this. Mr. Clampett, you now own a motion picture studio.
Is that a fact? You hear that, Granny?
Yeah, and I still don't believe it. 8 million people.
That ain't all, Granny. Mr. Drysdale says they got trains that runs underground.
Is that true, Miss Jane?
Yes, but I think you failed to grasp the significance of Mr. Drysdale's message. You see, for some time now, Mammoth Picture Studios has been in trouble, and Mr. Drysdale has been buying stock in your name. Yesterday, he flew to New York to represent you at a board of directors meeting, and you now control Mammoth Pictures.
You don't say.
I just want to ask you one thing. Who's the engineer? A gopher?
What engineer?
Damn trains that run underground.
Heard it all. They got buildings there high as a goose flies. Ain't that right, Miss Jane?
Right. But please, I still don't think you comprehend the message. Let me repeat what Mr. Drysdale said.
I've heard more than I can swallow now. I've got pig's knuckles on the stove.
Would you join us, Miss Jane?
Mr. Clampett, aren't you the least bit thrilled by what you've just heard?
Shucks, no. Since we can afford it, we have pig's knuckles once or twice a week.
No, I mean about owning a motion picture studio. Aren't you thrilled?
Can't say as I am. Don't know much about it.
You're a Selznick, a Warner, a Zanuck, a Scourse.
Now, Miss Jane, there ain't no call to go mean-mouthing me.
Mr. Drysdale will talk to you when he comes back.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I wish you wouldn't run off mad.
It's not that I'm mad. It's just that I don't seem able to make you understand what you are.
What's that?
You're a big Hollywood mogul. You're a czar, a magnet.
Please, Miss Jane, not in front of the boy.
You gonna stay and have knuckles with us?
I'm sorry, Jethro. I have to hurry back to the office. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Miss Jane. No hard feelings.
Granny says I got to sweep up outside before I can have victuals.
Say, Jethro, you know anything about owning what they call a motion picture studio?
No, sir, I don't.
Yeah, don't ever admit it in front of Miss Jane. Makes her madder than a hornet. We'd best drive over to that studio and kind of get acquainted.
Doggone, this is the biggest pile of whittlings I ever did see.
That's mostly dogs. Get up, dude.
Jed, what we gonna do over that movie studio?
Well, that depends on what kind of trouble it's in. All we can do is sort of look around, see what needs doing, and then pitch in and do it.
I reckon I'll be a producer or director. Maybe a star.
Well, I can take care of critters like Ren Tin Tin and Tarzan the Ape Man.
I can cook riddles for Hoop Gibson.
That's the spirit.
What are you gonna do, Uncle Jed?
Well, at first, I reckon all I can do is just sort of stand around and own the place.
Hold it. Now, just where do you think you're going?
Well, what's going on inside of the movie studio?
Oh? You got a pass?
No, we'll pay cash.
Jed, you don't have to pay. You own the place.
Oh, we can afford to help him out, Granny. How much for the four of us?
Now be sure and get matinee prices.
Are you kidding? Now, look, just turn this heap around and get out of here.
Now, we don't want no trouble. Just charge whatever you think is fair.
Look, you're blocking traffic. Now, will you clear out?
Tell him who you are, pal.
Yeah, I reckon I better. I'm Jed Clampett. I own this studio.
Oh, I'm glad to meet you. I'm Rock Hudson.
Well, pleased to meet you, Mr. Hudson. Jim Rose, ready?
Will you get out before I call the police and have you arrested?
I don't know what all trouble he's having, but one thing they could use is a friendlier ticket ticker. Y'all wait here. I'll go talk to Miss Jean.
I blame myself for what happened, Mr. Clampett. When I called you a Zanuck, a big Hollywood mogul, I obviously got you all stirred up.
Oh, Miss Jean, I don't hold that against you.
I shouldn't have done it. But I am certain Mr. Drysdale doesn't intend for you to take an active interest in the studio.
He's having trouble, ain't he?
Oh, yes, that's how he was able to grab it so cheaply. Invest in it so wisely. Why don't we just let matters ride until Mr. Drysdale returns?
Now, Miss Jean, if I own the studio, I feel it's my bounden duty to go over there and take a good look around.
Oh, well, I can certainly arrange that. A tour of the lot will be very interesting. I'll call the head of the studio, Mr. Lawrence Chapman.
Well, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'd appreciate it if you put in a good word with that feller at the gate, Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson?
How long will you be in the projection room, Mr. Chapman?
I don't know. What am I going to see?
Rushes of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Who's producing?
Your cousin Howard.
Who's directing?
Your brother-in-law Fred.
Who's on camera?
Your nephew Mike.
What about sets and wardrobe?
Your Uncle John and Aunt Opal.
Who am I starring?
Sir Trevor Gielgud Burton Guinness. He's not related.
Oh, yes, the big British actor, huh? What am I paying him?
$500,000 in a percentage.
Mm-mm. Is he married?
No, sir.
Make sure he meets Aunt Harriet's daughter.
Hello there, Executive Theater. Oh, yes, just a moment. Miss Jane Hathaway.
Never heard of her.
She's with the Commerce Bank.
Never heard of her.
They represent the new owner of the studio.
Hello, Janie, baby. Hiya, sweetie. How's my favorite princess? Of course I know you. They're on their way over? Now, don't you worry, doll. I'll make sure they get the red carpet treatment. They'll be dressed how? Driving a what?
Boy, I can't wait to commence being a movie producer.
What does a movie producer do?
Mostly he just goes around asking pretty girls if they want to be in movies.
That sounds like something you can handle.
Where'd you learn to be a movie producer?
Seen a movie about one.
Keep your eyes open, boy. Yonder's our studio.
Here they come. Flag them down, and I'll put them in my car.
Do you mean to tell me those people actually do own the studio?
Come on, flag them down.
Hold it, hold it. Howdy, Mr. Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson.
Howdy, Mr. Hudson. Howdy, Mr. Hudson. Boy, that Rock Hudson sure is friendly now.
Yeah, waving like Morse on a windy day.
Gee, I'm sorry.
How long you been a guard here?
Well, I just moved into this job last week.
Move back to your old job. Catch up with that truck.
Gee, I'm a producer again.
Thanks, Uncle Larry!